This is Pedro, and he's explaining what happened at San Francisco State University when the SFPD brutalized some occupiers in a house that they'd pretty much rescued for the community. Then the SFPD came and found some of the occupiers who were seeking refuge in the dorms with their friends and continued the beating. Go ahead.
While these individuals were in jail, some of their friends were camped out in front of the jail. They had continually camped out every night, ever since the first night. And 3 of those individuals were also arrested for sitting on some steps by the jail. They were released
outside 850 Bryant?
Yeah.
It's a public sidewalk.
Yes. Those 3 were eventually released the next day on misdemeanor charges. We've also been putting a lot of pressure here on the administration and the police department on campus. We held a rally on Friday. I'm talking about the 5 that were arrested in the dorm rooms. Today, actually, in the morning, we received word that the charges were being reduced to 2 misdemeanors. I'm not entirely sure what the misdemeanors are yet. We received word this morning that their charges were being dropped from 5 felonies to 2 misdemeanors.
Each person?
Mm-hmm. Which is really great news. We've been putting a lot of pressure on them to reevaluate, and I think it really helped. Also, around 4, when we were having this rally, we received word that then the 5 individuals, the SFC 5, are being released today at 5:30.
Great.
Because of all the pressure we've been putting, we've been calling the district attorney, we've been camping out in front of 850 Bryant, we've been talking to the administration, talking to the police department, and having demonstrations here on campus. And I really think these people were persecuted because of their political beliefs, and these charges were put on them in order to make an example, in order to scare other activists to think twice before they do any activism or go against the oppressive state or the police department. So since they had absolutely no legal backing to hold these people on 5 felony charges, they eventually lowered the charges to misdemeanors, and then a few hours later, after their arraignment, declared that they were being released.
Okay, is there a lawyer involved or lawyers?
Yeah, the NLG is involved, also some other private lawyers.
Are they part of putting pressure on?
Yeah, people have been working nonstop. We have a family of hundreds of people involved around the SF commune who are friends with those arrested, who have been putting a lot of pressure on all the institutions involved, like the school, the police department, the district attorney. And I think it's because of this that we were able to make it so our friends get released.
And within the administration of the school, has pressure been put on administrators at San Francisco State University? Yeah. Do you have names?
On Friday, we marched to the administration building and occupied it. We made a lot of noise, went up the stairs asking where the admin were, and eventually the dean of students, Joey, I don't know his last name, came down and spoke to us. We demanded that the statement that the school released of them being unauthorized was retracted and a clear statement was released, which he denied to do.
He didn't do it?
No. Even though they were guests of residents of the school, he still claimed that they were unauthorized to be there.
But you put pressure, even though he didn't respond the way he probably should have. The pressure, you think, had some impact.
Yeah.
Did you put pressure on any other administrators or school officials?
The vice president and president, we've been contacting them, emailing them, asking them to take responsibility. But they haven't been very receptive. They've just brushed off the whole situation.
Have they answered any of the emails?
No, they have not emailed us back, actually.
But still, a lot of people have been emailing them, so again, that constitutes pressure. Also,
the district attorney, we've been calling nonstop, asking him to drop the charges.
His name?
I'm not entirely sure. I've been more organizing on the ground, not really on the outreach to these people. There's been other people involved, so I'm not up to date too much on that.
All right, what have you been doing on the ground, Pedro?
On Friday, the day after the incident, we had a really impromptu rally here. We called out to all the activists in the Bay Area and the students to come out. Actually, a good turnout of about 50 people. The whole thing was organized at midnight in 6 hours. I had no sleep that night, so I've been doing that.
Who came? Who were the activists that you contacted? Who were they that you asked, and who showed up?
A lot of organizations from around the Bay Area. A lot of our friends who were involved in Occupy and came to the SF commune came out, and some other groups. And also we made a call out to all the students, sent out emails to the press.
Which press was there?
CBS. A lot of major mainstream news were there on Friday. We also called out to them to come today, but none of them showed up for some reason.
Did you see any stories?
Yeah, there's stories on the SF Gate, on the Sfsu Express, which is a school newspaper. There's some on CBS.
Did you see any TV stories, or were they mostly print? Or
No, on TV, yeah. But they were really watered down and just kind of a joke.
How were they watered down?
They cut out a lot of important things and made it seem like we were unorganized with they used editing to make it seem a lot less serious than it was.
Can you detail the things they left out that you felt should be put in?
When we had the rally, we had to speak out, and a lot of people spoke about what happened, and they didn't include any of that. They didn't include that we went on a march around the school. They didn't include that we talked to the administration or anything. They just kind of did a short 1-minute story about students and activists getting together, about these people being in jail, and just gave like a brief overview on what they think the story is.
What did they highlight that what they felt the story was?
They highlighted that the administration claims that those individuals were unauthorized to be on campus, and also that the residents of the room claimed that they were guests and not trespassers.
What you're describing is something I'm very familiar with, which was a very generalized whitewash. Did you have a feeling there were any statements of the press in what you read or saw that were supportive of the students?
I want to say supportive.
Or on their side?
More neutral. It was either really biased or just neutral.
Biased in favor of administration, school, SFPD, or just flat out straight reporting?
Yeah.